Check 1, 2, 3. Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Mine is not working. Mine is working. Awesome as well. All right. So welcome to Fallout Czequestria panel. What was that? We don't have what?
Yeah, we don't have a token yet.
Oh, token. Yes, we need a token. Yes. You will see why we need a token. Anyway, so we are Overmare Studios, and we work on the RPG called Fallout Czequestria, and there's Ivory Keys ADSR. It's Hamish Mill.
Hello.
And myself, Anas Porka, and in the audience we should have Dax. Dax is right there. We should have Dolkar. That's right. He's right there. We should have Ansis Malins. Ansis is right there, and we should have Antoshik here. Well, he's oh cool, right. So this is us, like 7 of us. I think this is one of the biggest attendance of our team on any con so far.
It is.
Right? Yeah.
So should we?
What?
Yes, we should.
What?
Oh, demo.
Oh, demo.
Yes.
Yes, demo.
Like, as I said, start from the beginning, so everyone has a chance to play as much a chance to play it as they want to.
Demo.
Don't put it.
Like this?
We didn't rehearse this very much. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. We have a playable demo for you on that computer right there. It's
right. Yes.
Now, my idea is because we can only really have it here for the duration of this panel, so we want as much people as possible to have a chance to play it. So what we're going to do is this balloon. When you have this balloon, it is your turn to go next. And then when you go up to play it, pass it to the person next to you, or into the audience, or well, actually the person next to you, so that we have 1 person each. And I'll start it from somewhere like that. If you don't want to have a go, that's fine, just pass it to the person like after you, okay? And also, you only, when you die, then your turn is up, and also no more than like 2 minutes or something like that. Try and keep it as quick as you can, because we've got a lot of people here. Right.
Perfect.
Okay, you're first.
Cool. Awesome. So we were... Oh, yeah. Oh, no one wants to play the game. Cool. All right, so our game is set in the Fallout Czequestria universe, which is based on a fanfic written by KCAP, which is called Fallout Czequestria, and it is a crossover of MLP and Fallout. And Stable Studios yesterday did a nice presentation of what the universe is, right?
Yes.
And everything. So we don't have to go over this thing.
No, we assume that most of you are familiar with, at the very least, Fallout Czequestria,
right.
not our work specifically. So.
Do we have Stable Studios here or not? Oh yes, they're right there. Awesome. So give them an applause. Thank you. Right, so Equestrian Society driven by war between ponies and zebras, blah, 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 blah. Open world RPG, right?
Open world RPG, blah, 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 blah.
That's important because our game is inspired on by Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
But it is very much going to be a different game. We aren't just simply making Fallout 3 with ponies. We're going to be adding our own sort of new mechanics, our own ideas into it, and we think it's going to be very sort of new and modern game that would be sort of appropriate in the time which it's made. So,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
it's not just going to be like Fallout 3.
Yeah, and it's actually entirely made from scratch.
Yes, a whole bunch of people still think we're a mod for some reason, even though we stopped doing that 3 years ago now.
That's right.
But yeah, we're making it entirely from scratch in Unity 3D, so yeah, that's obviously takes a lot of time to do, but we think that the end result is going to be very good as a result.
Yeah.
So there is a team. We have a team of 60 people from all around the world in such departments as 2D, 3D programming, script writing, testing, music, and game design.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
I think that's all of them.
Yes.
And in homage to Stable Tech's lovely map,
We also have a map.
our own.
Because it
helps to have a map.
It helps to have a map.
He said homage.
Homage.
Right. So yeah. So this is where we are. I think yeah, pretty much the whole northern hemisphere. Most well,
Yeah,
not
plus Australia,
plus Australia.
which makes organising meetings very difficult.
Right. Perfect. This is the structure of our team, sort of. So we have a design team, a script team. They work together. So these guys write whatever is people the ponies are going to say.
Yes.
These guys are coming up with the quest. And then there's a lot of departments which are creating just the assets, right? So we have sketches, 2D, 3D, voice acting, music. We have programmers.
Yes.
And programmers, yeah.
Yes.
Hamish is actually the programming lead.
Yes.
That's important to say. So he's one of the most important people on the project.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And and then we have also testers. And they are really important. And yeah. So demo.
Yes.
So that's
Okay,
it.
so we figured that because a lot of people are going to be familiar with our work already, we're not going to spend a long time talking about like what the project is and all this sort of stuff. But what you're actually interested in, which is the current state of the project and what you can expect from us in future. Currently, the demo which you, well, some of you will be able to see, and probably when the QA starts, we'll put it up on the screen for everyone to see as well. That's a very rough version of Sweet Apple Lake is. Well, what it really is a set piece for it to demonstrate our combat mechanics, because that's what we've actually been focusing on our development on for the past like year and a bit, something like that. After our pre-alpha gameplay video, which has recently blown up again, so that's been fun. Well, our pre-alpha gameplay video focused a lot on dialogue and quests and that sort of thing. So we instead decided to take things in a slightly different direction and do combat. So in the demo, we have a whole bunch of different guns, a whole different melee weapons as well, different armors, and a few spells as well, which you can try out against some unsuspecting protector ponies. Also rad roaches and bloat strikes, but because of a bug which I've yet to figure out, they are immortal. So yeah,
A bug.
yeah, a literal bug, a literal bug. Yes, exactly. So yeah. So we again in StableTech's panel, they mentioned the concept of accelerated development. So what this essentially means is that after you'll spend of any big project, you'll spend the first sort of chunk of time sort of organizing yourselves, and then sort of coming up with a design, with an idea, and then putting together like the framework for that idea. For us, that consists of about 40,000 lines of code. That's about the same size as the whole of the original Doom. And things like a production pipeline and sort of asset workflows and all this sort of stuff. So the idea is that as we start release content, it should sort of increase it should accelerate, it should speed up, exactly. So it's taken us some years to produce this first demo, which, oh, I completely forgot about this. Do you have your notepad?
My notepad.
We need to take email addresses.
That's right. We
need
that.
All con attendees will be able to play what we call our Wave 2 demo, which is going to be released hopefully at like the beginning of next month. And we will email you the download code for that, and that will be like a better version of this one, essentially.
I have to go on to fetch the...
Do you? Okay, well, yeah, you go ahead with that. I will keep talking.
Yes,
what we will then do is we will have Wave 3 demo, which will be at the end of the year most likely, and that will have a much better environment, and it'll be much more polished and have sort of tutorial messages and all this kind of thing, and that will be the public demo. But for you guys, you'll get to play the intermediary version as well, and of course give us some feedback about it, because that's what the sort of main purpose of this is, to get feedback from you guys so that we know what to do for the big demo at the end of the year. So once we have that out of the way, a lot of people might be wondering what's sort of to expect next. What are we going to be working on? Well, it hasn't actually been sort of completely decided, I should say, but it will be. We'll be looking at sort of doing a build maybe this time next year, another demo this time next year, with probably a completely different area, something like Stable 2. So we'll probably have lots of more dialogue, more quests, and it will be less sort of combat oriented. And then a bit after that, we would have, again, hypothetically, Stable 2 and then Sweet Apple Acres as one sort of whole area. The idea of what we're trying to do is do incremental builds for a number of reasons. Firstly, it gives you guys a chance to play as we develop the game, and also there's much less chance of, like, say if something goes wrong, if there's a problem with the team, if something ends up being delayed, the stuff is still there to play. We're not going to sort of ensconce ourselves away for 7 years and then come out with, by the time no one's interested, and then come out with something that no one will play. We want everyone, the community, to be sort of almost a part of the development process, I guess, in terms of giving us feedback and playing what we've created. So yes, AJ is about to pass around his notepad. If you're interested in receiving a download link for the intermediary demo, again, probably the beginning of next month, then please write your email address on that, and we will send that to you. So yeah, is that nearly done?
I'm just writing a little disclaimer what this is, collected for, because it's important,
Yes,
like data
we aren't going to sell your email
right.
addresses.
Yes, exactly. Right. So I'm just gonna pass this thing, and also my pen. Please keep an eye on this pen, because it's my pen.
He likes his pens.
Because of reasons.
Thanks. All right. So and yeah. So who are you? And it is really important for us, because we have our fans and followers, and it's really, let's say, humbling experience and a really wonderful experience. So we wanted to see where people are interested in our work most, and so as in order to sample this, we looked at our 2014 video, which has slightly over 100,000 views by now. And half of the population, or half of the views, came from the US. That's right. We have a lot of people from Russia. A lot of people from Russia. That's our second, let's say, biggest country in terms of the fandom. And then we have a lot of people from Britain and their colonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I am slightly worried that the whole of the British Empire has less of a viewership than Russia. Don't worry.
There's the US, right?
Well, and the US, but the US is to be expected.
Yes, that was
we didn't expect so many people from Russia, but then we were told that FoE Czequestria is actually really big in Russia.
That's right, it is.
Great,
yeah. And actually, Stable Tech Studios. I mean, Overmare Studios' resident music team, the Wasteland Whalers. We have slightly different demographics. We have also people from the US. We have also people from Russia. We have. It's actually exactly the same, right? Yes, it's pretty much the same. So yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So this is it. So let me just talk about the music for a while, because I am the we with Ivory
He's the boss.
I'm not the boss. I'm just someone who has the access to the. Yeah.
Okay. You're the boss.
Yeah. So we are releasing the music under the label of the Wasteland Whalers. Each track has a main producer. And he invites, or she would invite, well, mostly he, but was, others to collaborate. We work some with external musicians as well. but a lot of work is actually done on whiteboards and Excel sheets, because we are planning the content, and planning of the content involves a lot of drawing things and doodling pictures and filling up a lot of tables and stuff. So if you guys want to follow us, we're Wasteland Whalers on Twitter, and you just can Google us on just like this, and you get to download all our music that we have produced so far. Yeah, we work on background music, and we work on songs. So background music, we work with the game designers very much, and we have a separate effort for the combat music and for the action music, and for the exploration music. I mean, yeah. So the action music is pretty much driven by the state, whereas the exploration music is driven by the player's location, and also what happened in that location. That's another important thing. But mostly, this is the difference. So pretty much, this similar music will be played for action and wherever that is going to happen, because we want to have different music for different enemies. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea, that you would sort of understand who's attacking you based on what music you hear, right? And that. This is how our design process looks like. So this is the design of the exploration music for Sweet Apple Acres. You are either in the farmhouse or somewhere outside, or it's day or it's night. And if it's day, then you might be in the orchard. You might be somewhere, the Rock of Destiny, or some generic fallback music here. And then this is how the music for combat might look like. So as you leave the exploration, you probably want to, there is like a state of the combat here, because this box here will select different portions depending on how the combat progresses, and you are pretty much informed on your low health, and of course you are informed of the victory or that you have lost, of course, right? So. Yeah, and this is pretty much all depending. This all depends on the type of the enemy, and this is the asset list for Stable 2, for Sweet Apple Acres, and for some generic stealth and combat music. So just so that you have an idea there. Songwriting is entirely different, and just to give you a sort of brief insight how the production process looks like. So. For example, Step Around, right? So late 2012, Equinox wrote the lyrics. The spring 2013, I wrote the melody and harmonic progressions. Then Yondi made some initial arrangement over the summer. Then in the fall, we were casting the singer, and we recorded the live drums and the live trumpet. In January, we found Brittany Church, and her takes were recorded. And in March, we were tweaking things, and then there was a release of the music. So it took quite a long time to produce just one song, right? Like 2012 all the way until April 2014. It's not always like that. So for example, for Touch Me, this song by Haymaker, he was like, hey guys, I think I wrote a song, and that was released. Right. This is actually from our meetup last month, because as I was saying at the musicians panel, that we don't really exist as a regular band. We are internet band, so we work over Skype, and we don't rehearse. We just pass MIDI files and WAV files. That's different. And right, so whenever we get to meet, like in person, it's kind of a special thing, of course, as for the rest of the team, the same thing. It's Brittany here, and this is Yondi, and this is Haymaker, and there are two guys that I never saw in my life, and and I would like to at some point. That's James Güntner and Corvus, and I haven't met them yet. It would be great if we all meet somewhere and have a concert together. Anyway, we wrote a bunch of songs and produced them, and we still have something, some work to do. So this is in our immediate, let's say, production plan. This is something like a 12 months of work for us. So just expect these to be released like on the, somewhat semi-regular basis. Some of the music will not be released. It will be released just when the games come out, when the game comes out, you know, so that we don't spoil everything, right? Yeah, so I might have some examples of our previously released things. So, for example, this is what was pitched for the day. This is like a day exploration music, but we're not sure whether we're using it, but this kind of a genre there will be. Etc. Right? And the same thing for night. So the same track, right? Altered to be for like the night-ish, right? And yeah, this is Ivory's farmhouse.
My farmhouse.
Yeah. This is generic Western suburban. Just as a sample, what we're gonna have.
I should also point out that in the game, you can't hear it here, but these will have lovely beat synchronized transitions,
yes,
courtesy of AJ's work. If you're more interested in learning about that, we've got a video on YouTube.
That's right.
Demonstrating it. Just search for adaptive music on our channel.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating stuff, and I think it should definitely be very good.
Yeah. Awesome. So this is probably all we have for this presentation.
Yes.
And now we would open the floor for questions and answers.
Indeed.
And let's just patch this thing and this thing to that PC so that we can actually see the game. All of you.
I think we just change the input on the projector, and that should do it.
The audio.
No, the audio doesn't matter so much, but
Okay,
just
cool.
the video.
Yeah,
Just the video. Just change the input source. We have no idea what we're doing.
You're professionals like us?
Yes, exactly.
We're more professionals. This works. Extended.
No, it was that, but it's because it's using it as a separate screen. It's not mirroring it. It's extending the displays. So you need to push the button on that in order for it to. And I have no idea how you do that.
Yes, we are professionals.
Windows P.
Yeah.
Will that definitely not break it?
Yeah.
Okay. Windows P. Whenever that guy's finished, Windows P. Hopefully.
Anyway, so how are we gonna do with the microphones?
Yeah. Do we have a
Portable
wireless mic that we
microphones
can
or not?
hand round?
Isn't there?
That's
Is that
that's-
it?
No.
No, it is wireless, but it doesn't transmit anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the staff volunteer.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That'll
Yeah,
work.
that's right. Yeah. So if you guys can just form a, let's say, queue like
form
there
only queue.
probably, and I would just use this one, and it should work.
Is it how long is the cable on that?
Should be enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you have any questions, please stop on the queue right here.
I think I'll just do the stand.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. And then yeah. So you might have to come up with it, but yeah.
Yeah,
to walk
so,
around. So yeah.
So the first question here. Any questions?
No, they all came to play the demo.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys hiring?
Well, I thought that we already hired you.
I'm just doing the sample question.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, just kidding. Yes,
We
we're
are.
always looking for people.
We're hiring
Yeah.
in every department. Every department apart from voice acting,
And
I
music.
believe, and music.
Yeah,
every
sorry.
department apart from voice acting. So that's 2D, 3D, game design, programming, testing, script writing, so yeah, we can basically you just go on our website and click on the link "Join Us," and there's a specialized application for each department. You fill that in. If you're good enough, then we'll give you an interview and sort of talk it over from there. But yeah, we're absolutely.
Actually, it's not really hiring you. It's more like recruiting you. There's a difference.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
guess
slight
that's the
difference.
thing,
Yeah. Because we don't really have a budget because we're non-commercial, so that's important to stress.
Yes.
Yeah. Not for profit and everything.
So why should anybody work for you?
I have no idea. No, it's yeah. If anyone's interested in contributing to a project like this, if you're interested in game development, if you're interested in contributing to fan projects, that sort of thing. The same reason that any of us do anything, really, isn't it? Because we're bronies and we like working our asses off for no money.
We are
Yeah.
learning a lot of stuff actually ourselves while doing this, so this is a great opportunity to learn a lot of things. I have learned a lot of things. So yeah, first question, please.
So my question is a bit more technical. Is it going to be a Windows-only game, and how strong computer am I going to need to run it fluently?
Okay, well, ideally, well, basically, it works like this. We can only guarantee that it's going to work on Windows for reasons, but there's a very good chance that it will work on Mac and Linux as well, because of, well, basically because Unity have changed their rendering backend so that it supports OpenGL 4.5, but that's, yeah. So there's a very good chance it'll run on Mac and Linux as well, but not sort of confirmed. In terms of specs, I am personally very passionate about making sure that as many people can play it as possible, so I'm going to do my very, very best to make it run on sort of any machine that has the minimum requirements, which is basically a DirectX 10 card, which is like anything from 2008 onwards. So you can have a pretty old computer and it should be able to run just about. It might not look very good, but it should be able to run.
Thank you. Great. Next question, please.
Yes.
Just come on up.
My question is, will there be even more Velvet Remedy songs? Because I do like them very much, and I've seen you have a list of the soundtrack, and it's more or less complete now. Will there be more?
Yes, we will have more songs sung by Velvet, of course, because Brittany Church is still with us, and we and it's just awesome that she is, and we are grateful for that. And yeah, so there will be more songs, and there's at least one in, there's one in, let's say, pre-planning stage, sort of, and yeah, so there will be at least one by the end of this spring.
I would appreciate
like that. Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
I am sorry if this is already answered somewhere on your website, but how are you dealing with ministry mayors and other official names and stuff? So Hasbro would not give you any problems.
Honestly, that part there is no immediate reason for us to solve this issue, right? Because we will. There will be some time until we get to the point that we would have to reference any of these characters, and yeah. So we will, as Hamish said, once we will cross that bridge when we reach it. Thank you.
Are you using cheat codes? Well, in development and so on, and are there going to be I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
This is very quality product, as you can see. Yeah, so cheat codes. We are going to have well, basically, because the game is going to be so big and there's so many options for bugs and for glitches and things like that that we don't know about, there is going to be a full developer console like you would get in, say, Fallout 3 in New Vegas, but it's going to be running Lua, so you can basically do anything like in code, you can do it in the console as well. So it's suitable for if we miss some like quest bug and some quest becomes uncompletable, then we can fix it through the console. And additionally, that means you can do pretty much any form of cheat code that you can think of as well, if you want to. You know, you can if you're good enough at programming, or if you just download the script from the internet or whatever it is. So yes, full cheat codes. Full access, pretty much.
Yeah, if you want your game spoiled.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. Like gameplay spoiled. Yes.
So my question is, have you seen the E3 videos from FoE 4? And have you in some way picked up something from it and would you improve some Euro game, like based on what you've seen?
Well, we think they've copied some stuff from us, or they've taken ideas from our heads, essentially. The things like in Fallout 4, the VATS is not stopped, but it's in slow motion instead. We had that idea.
Like a year ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago when we thought of doing that, but yeah, they haven't. Yeah, that wasn't public as well, so it's not like they stole it from us. But yeah, it's like that sort of thing. There are things that we would definitely not do. Things like criticals being an activatable ability. You know, that's not going to happen. And there's also some things that we are like unable to reasonably do. I mean, things like the robot saying your name. That is fantastic, but we can't feasibly do that. So, but yeah, we absolutely sort of take inspiration from other games. You know, the whole of the game industry is based on what's the word? You know, like progressive advancement, building on mechanics of other games, essentially. So we'll absolutely be looking at that and seeing what sort of works with our game and what people like.
Can I have one more quick question? What about gore? We know that killing in Fallout usually involves a lot of gore, and how do you solve it? Because some fans don't like gore. Will it be like to go gore?
Well, Fallout Czequestria it's a dark story to begin with. It's not a bedtime tale really. Well, the thing is, we haven't actually got as far as to implement the proper dismemberment and this sort of thing. It will definitely be possible in the game to blow apart ponies' skulls and their eyeballs will fly out and all this sort of stuff. But I would definitely be pushing for that to be an optional thing, so you could turn that off. But yeah, it's a dark sort of story. There's a lot of pretty horrible things that go on in the books that will also be present in the game. So you should always keep that in mind if you're considering sort of playing it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, next question.
I have a question about companions. How interaction between them will work?
We haven't really sort of confirmed any of this. I can sort of also I'm not too much involved in the design of the game as well. Disclaimer: anything I say may be completely wrong, but it's going to be. I believe that it's going to be the case that you can for all of your companions apart from Calamity. If you do things which they don't like, if you treat them badly or act in a way that they don't like, then they will go away. All of your companions, apart from Calamity, can be killed on the hardcore mode, but not on the normal one, because you don't want your companions to go into a place and then get killed, because that would be like really bad. But yeah, there's that. In terms of interaction between them, we are planning sort of some things like if you have, say, Velvet and Calamity, then they will have some like funny shippy type dialogue and what have you. You will be able to see their relationship progress essentially when you have them as companions, and you'll be able to say any two characters. It's like in Mass Effect. Any two characters that you have will talk to each other and they'll interact with each other sort of in that way. That's the sort of thing that we're going for. So yeah.
Yep.
But again, that may be completely wrong. May drag strike me down with lightning if that's not the case. No, it's fine.
Yeah, you're saying. Okay, next question.
Hello. I've seen red roaches, or was it something like red roaches in the demo right now? Are the red roaches gonna be strong like Fallout 3 like or Fallout Shelter like?
I actually have no idea. That basically just comes down to balancing. But what we are going to definitely do in terms of, that's a good point about the overall strength of enemies actually. Essentially, we want it to be the case that at any point during the game, every enemy will still pose some sort of threat to you. It's not going to be the case where you can literally stand there and get shot for ages or get hit for ages and just not die because you're super strong. And especially in terms of the way that enemies are going to be sort of placed around the map as well. The weaker enemies, things like rad roaches, they will come in swarms and they will like swarm you. That's the idea. So they'll be like, you know, like a dozen of them or half a dozen of them or whatever, and they will all come at once. You won't just find one sitting on its own and then you just squish it like that. It will be like an event like that. Oh yeah, there's if you scroll back, you can go to third person. Yeah. Yeah, there's in addition things like bloat sprites. The idea is that they'll be really quite small and quite difficult to hit because they'll be flying around as such. But as a result, their attacks will be weaker. Things like the protector ponies, they'll be quite hard to take down, but they're and very hard hitting, but they're quite slow moving. So you can use your skill to sort of go around them and sort of be nimble and that sort of thing. So that's the sort of idea we're going for. It's not going to be, hopefully it's not going to be the case, like especially in the late game of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, when it comes down to who has the highest damage and the highest health. There's going to hopefully be some more tactics involved, and you will change your styles depending on the enemy that you're facing.
And second question. Now I've seen a little pew laser. The little pip is making from their horn. Is that like the offensive magic?
Yes, yeah.
The offensive magic will be, I believe, implemented in the game.
Completely, yes. We have. I forget the spells that we have, but we have.
Those are magic missile.
No, we have magic missile and. Oh dear, has something happened? Oh no, it's just a death pew. I thought it was bugged out there. But yes, the laser upgrade you see here is actually, it's called a laser upgrade because it will be an upgrade to the magic missile, such that it will be the same, I believe, the same sort of DPS and the same mana cost, but it will be continuous instead, so it's a bit easier to use. Essentially, the way we're approaching magic is we're going to have a pretty small number of spells. I think 9 spells or something like that. But they'll all be very, very sort of in depth. They'll all do something unique. They'll all have a big tree of upgrades and ways you can modulate them. A sort of thing that I don't know if this still really applies, but we had a sort of joke that you could complete the game using only 1 spell, and that would be like your combat style. But I don't really know where we sort of stand on that. So yeah, there is going to be offensive magic. I think it's only going to be 1 direct offensive magic, which is the magic missile. But there will be things like I think it's called Discord or something like that, where you can cause ponies to attack each other and turn on their friends and this sort of stuff. There will be things like telekinesis, of course. You'll be able to throw objects, and they will do damage to enemies as well. So yeah, there's various ways which you can damage and hurt your opponent with magic. So yeah.
Right, thanks. Next question.
How much will the game stick to the original story?
In terms of length, that's completely up in the air. I mean, we're hoping something like basically it's kind of hard to say because we don't really know how much content there is going to be at the end because we haven't designed it yet. But say that something like in the tens of hours in terms of content, we reckon for the full game. But yeah, we don't really know. In terms of like length of just playing the main quest, then it might be shorter than that. But again, it's really hard to give an estimate on that.
I meant not the length, but the content, the story.
Oh, can you play the exact story of the book? I believe so. Yes, there might be a few things that we need to sort of change, And similarly, there's also a few things which will be restricted as well. Things like Calamity is basically pretty much the only essential character because he actually drives you places and he's like necessary. And similarly, there's probably going to be some things that happen in the book that don't really make sense for to be implemented in the game, so they might be done a bit differently. But by and large, you will be able to play the game as you were Little Pip, going through the novel.
And one more thing, Little Pip, at least in the book, she mostly, well, the only spell she can do is telekinesis. Well, I'm at the 40th chapter if there is something else that's spoiler to me. But you said that there will be about 9 spells you're playing as a Little Pip, so this is a bit or different from the story already.
Yeah, well, basically we want to give players, we want to give as much sort of different play styles as possible, really. There will be an option for a trait, I believe, where I think one trick pony. Yeah. Like we're taking the names from the book for these things, where you will be able to choose one spell that you can't do anything else, and you'll be very good at it. So that's an option that the player can choose, but they don't have to choose that option. They could do a different thing altogether. The only sort of forms of customization that the player won't be able to change is the name, Little Pip, and the cutie mark. You can change appearance, you can change gender, you can change skill sets, you can change the character personality, of course, in terms of what you choose in the dialogue. The reason we're fixing those two things is because we want the player to be referred to by name and dialogue, because it's a little bit more immersive.
This is creepy.
And cutie mark because it sort of plays into the idea that you're sort of given your cutie mark, and it's not something you choose, it's just something you get. It's like the sort of destiny thing, and a big part of the story is the idea that Little Pip didn't choose her cutie mark and she's good at this thing and maybe that doesn't fit her and all this sort of stuff. So it's for that sort of thematic element, really.
Maybe I can. Maybe we need some sound.
Well, there's no sound in the microphone.
No.
There is, yeah.
So you can be male a little bit?
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe I can add more clarity to the answer. They are, at least 1 year ago, I believe you said that you are hoping for a goal in which the Czequestria story, Czequestria, would be like storytelling of a playthrough of their game.
Exactly right,
so,
yes.
So, Czequestria chose her Little Pip to be like small-framed and one-trick pony and only know telekinesis and such. But when you play the game, you can be like male and such. Stupid and buff.
So basically, the game,
Imagine the game being first.
That the story will be one particular playthrough.
Exactly.
Well, I have a question. Is there any possible way that there will be game mode where you can play as another characters like Calamity or that?
Not made by us. Maybe made by someone else. We don't really know. In terms of mods, since the release of Unity 5, a lot of mod-related stuff basically implements itself. So there will be mods, and that will be modding support. Made by us? No, certainly not. But maybe made by one of you guys who wants to do that sort of thing. Who knows? Oh, actually, you slightly reminded me there. I said before there was 2 things that you couldn't customize. I was wrong. There's 3 things. One of them is the race. You can only be a unicorn. And there's a big long list of reasons why that's the case. And it's on our blog if you want to read it. And then you can shout at us and whatever. But yeah, so yes.
It's on their blog.
Unicorn master.
Okay, and second question, not so serious, more like a joke. What do you think will be released first? For Czequestria or Half-Life 3?
Yes! We had that yesterday.
Yeah. For Czequestria, we think, yeah. Considering that Valve has zero incentive to release Half-Life 3, and we have many incentive to release for Czequestria, so yeah.
Well, same thing was on Fallout 4, so we have we have no information, and now
suddenly, yeah, maybe.
We'll see. Okay. Thanks.
Yes.
This might seem a little bit unrelated for a while, but just bear with me.
Sure.
In Fallout 3, in one of the DLCs, you are supposed to visit this slaver city, where you infiltrate the city as a slave, but it is actually, at least for me, it was kind of disappointing because you were actually a secret agent placed there. You were still in the control, and
I still haven't played that. No spoilers, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more spoilers about Fallout 3.
I played it, so I know what he's talking about. The pit, exactly, yes.
And you said that there will be possibility to follow the storyline almost exactly in Fallout Czequestria.
Yeah.
And at many points in the story, Little Pip gets imprisoned, and she's actually powerless. Will you be powerless at some point in Fallout Czequestria?
I can't actually speak for that because I don't think we've designed any of those areas up. I can say that personally, I really like points in the game where all your equipment and maybe even skills are taken away, and then you have to like sort of sneak through places and do things like in a slightly different way that sort of really changes things up. And I'm sure we'll have points like that in the game because that's just a fun thing to do. So yeah,
I love those moments too. That's
yeah.
That's why I was asking. And that's why the Fallout 3 was disappointing in this regard.
Yeah, I mean there was only really one place where. No, there was the pit where it happened, but there was nowhere else.
When you get the
Tranquility Line.
Tranquility Line, and when you get the gag, when you were taken away by the Enclave.
No, but you retrieve your equipment like the moment, because it's in the same room as you, isn't it?
Yeah.
The equipment, so it's but that you're powerless then, but it's not for any. It's basically a big long cutscene. Yeah. So I don't really count.
Thank you.
How strong will be the possibilities to divert from the actual from the story of the book?
Oh, so to go like down a different route and to join different factions in this? Yes, definitely. Our idea is that we are. I think that. Well, again, we're really far off from this, but I think the count was something like 11 different endings or something like that is what we're sort of aiming for. And the idea is that you'll be able to do the main story, the storyline like Little Bit does it. In additionally, you can decide the Red Eye is right and you can join his forces, or the Goddess maybe and you can join her forces. And there will be different endings as a result, there will be different consequences as a result of all this, and there'll be different quest paths and all this sort of stuff.
Little Bit confirmed.
Maybe.
That's a spoiler!
The element of lockpicking.
Like will you put in the possibility to not leave the stable at all?
No, you will have to leave the stable, basically because it's too much of a pain to. Because so few players will actually do that. It will be basically too much of a pain to code all the dialogue and all the stuff for that really. But so that's essentially one of the few things where something happens and you have to deal with it. One of those is leaving the stable. One of those is having Calamity as your companion. Leaving the stable is basically forced upon you because Little Pip is the bug technician. Well, actually, that's like spoilers for the first chapter of Fallout Czequestria.
Yeah,
Does that count as spoilers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there somebody who didn't read it?
Yeah.
Then why are you here?
Yeah.
Because he's the dev.
Okay, then I won't spoil it. It is in just in the first chapter, but fair dues. You are forced out by reasons outside of your control, essentially.
Yeah.
So, but that's basically to make things a lot easier for us. Sorry.
Okay, and last questions. Are you going to be able to enter every building, or will it be like in Fallout 3 when you feel like 90% of the buildings are just boarded up?
Don't know actually. It depends on how easily we can design maps, how easily we can do environment models. this sort of thing. So I don't know. I mean, it would be great if that was as you described, but maybe practicalities will prevent that. I don't really know. Just 5 minutes. Yeah. So just maybe just three more questions, something like that. We'll see. So okay, thanks.
May I ask in the chat?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Go ahead.
Na Galakonu tento rok jsem byl v gameu a tam měli tento rok na Galakonu měli Ponyville jako s realitou, jako s Oculusem.
Can you translate
yes. So the support for the Oculus Rift you're asking for, right?
Jde o to, že jak jsem to zkoušel, tak jsem se díval, bylo to prakticky to samé. Já si myslím, že tady to není jako.
Yeah, you can translate back when I've said it. So essentially, Unity does support the Oculus Rift as an input and output device. We aren't going to build the game for that because it would involve building the game for just that, essentially, if you want it to be really any good. But essentially, the game will accept any input device which Unity will recognize, which is basically everything, the Rift included, controllers. Oh yeah. If you really try, you can shoot yourself in this because I badly coded the guns. So yeah, let's go.
Shoot yourself. Do it.
There we go. Yes. So yeah.
Isn't there a shortcut for that? That's like K is
K to kill yourself if you want to.
Right.
Do that. Yeah. Yeah. So in short, yes, you'll be able to use it. It might not be as good. Maybe someone can mod it such that it is good. Who knows? Do you need the translation, or is that all good? Excellent.
Perfect. So do we have more questions? Yep. Please come on.
Okay.
There's 3 minutes.
Yeah, we have.
Okay,
Yeah.
2 more questions.
Yeah, 2 more questions. Please go ahead.
I just made the demo 5 minutes ago. It was pretty great, I guess. But you said you want to improve everything and make it like a big thing. Did you ever have thought about like getting money for it, or like getting something like at least like Patreon or something?
Well, no, strictly no, because that's one of the things that we need to maintain and avoid at all costs. So basically, we cannot charge for the game at all.
Yeah,
this is a fan project, like strictly.
Yeah, I'm not a non-profit project.
There's a number of sort of reasons for that, but there's sort of it's not like one single reason. There's multiple reasons why we're not going to sort of make any profit.
The simplest being the copyright.
Yeah,
you can
and
still
also
buy
because Kate doesn't want that to happen as well. So yes, we will respect her wishes on that. Bottom aren't legal tender yet, so it's fine. But one small caveat: we are going to be selling things like we sold posters at BronyCon. We're sort of planning on sort of doing that in the future in order to pay for our sort of running costs, essentially, because we aren't made of money. But yeah, those will anything that we do sell will be a thing that we sell. We're not going to just accept money from anyone for donations. We want to provide people with a service, and any profit that we make from it will go first to our running costs. If there's any excess, then that goes to charity. So no one is going to be profiting personally from this.
Thank you. Last question?
Yes.
Yeah, I really like secrets and secrets area in the game. And when I played Fallout, there were like secret codes and secret areas and stuff that's not apparent at the first glance. Would you how focused are you on that aspect in the Overmare?
Yeah, I think those I agree. Those are great. Again, we haven't really got to the stage where we're designing that sort of thing. I would imagine that it's going to be one of these things that an individual designer will like have an idea for it and then implement it using existing assets so that it doesn't take away from the sort of main focus of the game, as it were. But yeah, secret areas, like Easter eggs perhaps, all this sort of stuff, you know, we definitely want to add that in. We want to make it as enjoyable experience for everyone as we can.
If I may, just one question, where's the scratch pad? Awesome, and the pen is still present? Yes!
What pen?
Awesome. Success. Yeah. Okay, thanks. That's awesome. I think last question, and that's it.
Yes.
Probably, sort of.
Yeah. Last
yes,
question.
please.
Last question?
Yeah, last question.
I want to ask you if when you complete the game, if we can see it on Steam Greenlight.
No.
Well, it's very unlikely. Basically because, it depends on a lot of things. Basically, we believe that, well, basically because the main reason that we couldn't do it is because it's called Fallout something. And Fallout is a trademark of Bethesda, but it does not cover, in Canada, which is where we are based, it doesn't cover the scope of downloadable PC games. So, and we are a downloadable PC game, it doesn't cover that scope, so that's okay. Whether Steam would see it differently or not, whether Bethesda would take more of an interest in it or not is, I mean, possibly they would, so maybe to be safe we wouldn't try and put it on Steam or anything like that. But yeah, you'll always be able to get it from our website, so yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. So
Right, so I think this is it. This is pretty much the closing of our panel. Thank you very much for coming, and
yeah, please, we hope to get lots of lovely feedback from you guys when you're playing the Way 2 demos. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Anyone else want to write their email?